With a reverse grid format, it's going to be really fascinating. This is possibly the first pole position for Nev Jones and Rob Child, carrying the number 75. They've got a big engine in there and they're going to have to use it to get off the line. Behind them, Brian Gray and Jason Pitt on the 600 Brian Gray Power Biking Yamaha. Number 111, Kevin Cable and Guy Pawsey lineup, second fastest. Over there, number 11, we've got Dean Nichols and Kenny Cole. He was going well in the first race. Gary Horsepole's there. Further back, the championship leaders and winners of race 1, Steve Kershaw and Stuart Clark, are down in 10th. They were really looking forward to this race, I know, as indeed am I. Sit back and enjoy. And it's the 10-lapper, bang in the middle of race Sunday here at Snetterton. A huge crowd at this round of BSB. Round 4 for the solos, round 3 for the sidecars, and the people just love the entertainment here on this Snetterton 300 track, 2.97 miles. So there's going to be a fair amount of racing going on. Nev Jones on the front there with Kev Cable. Those boys are going to have to get those big engines off the line and go really quickly. Brian Gray got his nose out. There you can see Phil Bell. We're on board with Steve Kershaw and Stuart Clark scything up the inside towards the first right-hander of Riches. Round they go, everyone round safely. A big grid here. Oh, a spinner off. I said everyone safely. Not so at all. That's Greg Lambert and Julie Canepa on the only short bike in the race. Nearly tipping it over, but they've rejoined on board with Bell and Stuart Ramsey. The Marin Motorsport Kawasaki took a little kiss there, but Todd Ellis and Chaz Richardson on the 600 slotted on the inside of them. It's Gary Bryan and Phil Hyde. Number 68, Gary Bryan and Phil Hyde lead, back from 2 very successful Isle of Man TT outings. Look at Kershaw in the middle of the action, going across the front of Todd Ellis and Chaz Richardson on the Santander Salt Honda. Over to the left, Kershaw goes. Another one, that's Dean Nichols. He's gone past. So now Kershaw and Todd Ellis is going with him. Underneath Dean Nichols and Kenny Cole. And there Phil Bell having a look, but there wasn't room, gave him a kiss. Dean Nichols is going very well this weekend. The man from Somerset. There, Kevin Cable ahead of Nev Jones. These boys are really holding their own, but they've got fast traffic behind. Here comes Kershaw. Kershaw and Clark on the Express Tyre Molson Santander Salt Kawasaki out of the slipstream and not quite past Kevin Cable. Fair play, Kevin Cable. Todd Ellis going through with them ahead of Nev Jones. It is brilliant, brilliant stuff. There you can see Kevin Cable, then Kershaw is past him. 111, Guy Pawsey doing the business, holding down. He's really impressed, Kevin. You are riding well. Nev Jones similarly absolutely flying. Phil Bell, Stuart Ramsey watching Kershaw get away, and they don't want that. They came here 4 points adrift of second place in the championship. And now Rupert Archer and Tom Bryant going past Martin Kirk and Shelley Smith. Is Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood on board. So much is happening. It's breathless stuff. Number 7, Brian Gray and Jason Pitt with Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood on the Quattro Plant JG Speedtech Kawasaki right behind them. We're on board with it now. Are we going underneath Brian Gray? Yes, we are. There's Rupert Archer and Tom Bryant. Look how the passenger works. Bryant then. In this league, he's performing well. Out to the left-hander. Brian Gray, the veteran Brian Gray from High Wycombe, knows how to get 3 wheels round a racetrack. Grand Prix campaigner for many, many years, and still loves his racing every bit as much as he ever did. Gary Horsepole, Jimmy Connell there, number 32. Number 7, the 600cc R6 Yamaha of Brian Gray power biking with Martin Kirk and Shelley Smith is going underneath, not quite. Brian Gray slow into the corner, but then got the drive on. Look at Gary Bryan and Phil Hyde. They're out there at the front. Kershaw and Clark are right behind them, but Gary Bryan riding with a severely injured right hand. You wouldn't believe it, a ride-on lawnmower accident. He grabbed the deck, took his index finger off at the second knuckle, and the top of his middle finger. So, and that was only a matter of weeks before the TT. He went to the Isle of Man and rode in the TT with a damaged hand, and he's having a problem here steering it. These big flat tyres gripped the ground so much he was in severe pain in qualifying, but we have a new race leader out in front then. It's Kershaw and Clark. On board with Rupert Archer. Oh, a kiss from Martin Kirk, a hand up and a shake of the head from Rupert Archer. What'd you do that for? He said. Well, sorry, said Kirky, didn't mean to do it. Brilliant stuff. Kevin Cable and Nev Jones, 111 and 75, have really stuck together through this, but there Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood going underneath Nev Jones on the 600, so they are now the little bike in the big bike bread, if you like. They're the filling in the sandwich, but Nev Jones and Rob Child acquitting themselves brilliantly in this race. Rupert Archer and Tom Bryant, number 70 on the Adolf RS bike in there lurking. Stevens then has gone underneath, and that's one more place as they move further up the order. So Kevin Cable and Guy Pawsey relegated. Rupert Archer, Tom Bryant on the Adolf RS, and now Phil Bell on the Marin Motorsports Kawasaki right behind Gary Bryan and Phil Hyde, and through they go. Even though Gary Bryan's on a big bike, Phil Bell now up to second. But what a brave ride by Gary Bryan and Phil Bell. Dean Nichols and Kenny Cole on board. The guys from Highbridge, and I stand corrected because I once said they were from Devon. He told me in no uncertain terms, I'm from Somerset. So we now know he's from Somerset. I was thinking something else down in Devon, never mind. Can't get it right all the time. Brian Gray right there, now on board with Archer. The nose of that fairing just wiggling in the wind. Brian Gray alongside him, so these two at it, hammer and tongs. It is Rupert Archer on the grass. No, Brian Gray does not give it another shake in the head from Rupert Archer. He's getting all sorts of action here, but his big Suzuki powers past the 600 up the straight. He's lining up then Dean Nichols. Rupert Archer has got Dean Nichols in his sights. Matt McLaurin and A.D. Hope there, and A.D. Hope riding with an injured hand after surgery, and he's been struggling on the Blue Machinery bike. Kirk and Smithies, a bit of a spin. Martin Kirk has been riding well all weekend, so a touch of over-exuberance. You can see the black line. Let's have a look. Bit hot on the brakes, and round she goes. Andy Peach and Ken Edwards miss them, fortunately, as indeed does everyone else, as Rob Biggs goes through. Now, Rupert Archer and Tom Bryant. This is two big bikes playing together. Has Archer's Suzuki got the power in a straight line to go past Dean Nichols? Dean Nichols there, yes. Does it going into the bend? Can he fight back? Dean Nichols loves his racing. Real family affair. Smiles always around the Dean Nichols awning. Good to see people enjoying their sport, and tell you what, here at Snetterton, everybody is enjoying the sport. Look at that, Rupert Archer then shoots past. So that's Kevin Cable and Guy Pawsey now have been pushed back by Rupert Archer, who's making fantastic progress up the order. Todd Ellis, Charlie Richardson going around the outside of Gary Bryan and Phil Hyde, and it's fair to say that he must be in a fair amount of pain now, Gary Bryan. Oh, up goes the hand, there you have it. He told me that when he's on full lock, the handlebars and his injured hand is hitting the front tyre, so that can't be good. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood making progress as well, alongside Simon Gilbert and Jack Tritton, who expired with a lack of fuel in the first race. I hope they put 25 litres in this time around. They only put 18 in for race one. Not enough petrol. We need petrol to get round here, and these big straights and the big engines gobble it up. Gilbert using a Yamaha, and we are now on the back of Gary Horsepole and Jimmy Connell. Horsepole's been going well too, but he's got a big engine, so Ricky Stevens is going to have to do it through the twisty bits. Simon Gilbert there lurking as well. I must say, I'm surprised how quick these 600s are on a big fast track like this at Snetterton. So the decision to go 600, obviously the correct way, and the decision has been taken that for 2019 it will be only 600 cc's in this British Championship. So this is the last season of 1000 cc power. So make the most of it, boys. You're all going to be level pegging from 2019 onwards. Gary Horsepole and James Connell making that pilgrimage from Scotland every single round. Lovely guy and a great passenger. But Ricky Stevens then right on the back like a hungry dog, and that hungry dog is going through on the inside, and he does it on quarter speed, flicks the back round, throws it round and gets the power down. A good block pass. Gary Horsepole had nowhere to go, and Stevens and Charwood are now up to 4th place. 4th place then, 3/4 distance, lap 7 of 10. Horsepole coming back on power, not quite. Camera angle belied that. It looked as though he was there, but not quite. What a fantastic race this is. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood on that Quattro plant. JG Speedfit Kawasaki. The big fear, of course, from the big engines is that in recent months we've had a spate of blow-ups, and some of these Yamahas are 10 years old because they use the 2008 engine and not the Big Bang. So if you're riding a Yamaha, as indeed Simon Gilbert is in the back of the picture, the engine is 10 years old. So I rest my case. Rupert Archer and Tom Bryant. Dean Nichols and Kenny Cole having a good look at the inside of Brian Gray. Brian Gray has not given up. They've had a race-long battle, these two, and they're still at it on lap 8. But again, the big bike power of Dean Nichols prevails. What can Brian Gray do here? Is there an answer? You can just see from this race the battle's going, oh, that was a bit deep. Dean Nichols went in very, very deep on the lip racing, and Brian Gray grabbed the place. So a change in positions there, that puts Brian Gray, to my reckoning, up to about 8th. Be confirmed at the end. All he's got to do is bring it home. 2 more laps to do. Brian Gray and Jason Pitt. Very smart teammate Alan Found's not here this weekend. Nev Jones out of it. What a shame. He was having a great race. Nev Jones and Rob Child, they'll have to be thinking about 600 power next year, as indeed will many of. There's Andy Peach and Ken Edwards. What a season they've had. They pulled that engine to bits. It had breather problems, but it seems to be going well. He's got a brand new engine sitting in the awning, which he was almost afraid to fit. I think that will come out to play at Knockhill. But Andy Peach, another one of those top line riders who's moved to 600cc power, getting it sorted out. It's a big transition. Rob Biggs then, Jerome Schmitz, another 600 mover. Immaculately turned out outfit. Matt McLaurin, AD Hope on their big Yamaha. And these two 600s really at it. Rob Biggs is going in, but flicks it through at the chicane. Through he goes. Andy Peach comes back at him underneath. So that's a typical move where if you go in hot, you go a little bit wide. So roll reversal and then back again. Status quo. Business resumed. On the final lap, race leaders Steve Kershaw and Stuart Clark building up a huge lead here. 15 seconds, you can see the gap on the final lap ahead of Phil Bell and Stuart Ramsey. So it's 2 1000cc bikes at the head of the pack, but this will be 3rd win in a row for the Kershaw-Clark boys. And the Molson Santander Salt Kawasaki looking really good. Out of the final bend, sprinting up the hill, no problems at all. Over the line they go. Victory number 2 here at Snetterton to round off what has started off as a brilliant season here. And round 3 we are. Phil Bell, this will place him firmly in 2nd place in the championship. Phil Bell and Stuart Ramsey. And waiting for Todd Ellis and Charlie Richardson over the line. They go. And we have a red flag. Oh, bodywork. Bodywork rubbing. Well, you can understand the marshals being overly sensitive because they're getting a bit paranoid about blow-ups, and that could easily have been mistaken for a blow-up. So, but the red flag affected not the result, certainly for the top 3 or 4. It's just that 1 or 2 further down the order might have missed out on a place. Kershaw, Bell, Ellis, there's your podium. Stevens, Horsepole, Gilbert. Good effort from those guys. We saw Rupert Archer and Tom Bryant fight all through the race, and Brian Gray there behind. Andy Peach, Ken Edwards credited with 11th. They got the better of Big Z, Kirk in 13th.